Good morning. Good morning to you. We live in a zoo. We sew up our fabric and then we chop it again too. Sorry, I know I'm weird. Anyways, welcome to another episode of Breakfast at Tiffany's. I'm Tiffany, your host. I mean, it only makes sense, right? All right, let's see who is. Oops, come on, you dumb thing. Every time I go to want to see who's here, the whole thing closes out and then opens back up again. All right. Got Karen, Robin, Tracy, Cindy, Vicky, Norma, Roxanne, Gloria, Loopy Fruit Boot. Ooh, that's a funny one. Anyways, it's Gouda. Okay. We got Polly, Shirley, Nancy, Tracy, Lori, Diane, Gina, Beverly, Deb, and many more. Welcome and good morning, everybody. Or afternoon or evening, whatever time it is for you guys. Because you're scattered everywhere. Today we are going to make card trick block because that's what the title says. So I had a client come to me and say, had a table runner and said, hey, can you remake this, but in a green colorway? And I said, oh yeah, I can do anything, So I kind of just took measurements. It's something I had already made in the past, so I'm just replicating it without having the actual item in front of me because I don't really need it. She showed, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. Anyway, so we are going to make 9-inch finished, 9.5-inch unfinished card trick blocks. And my colorway today is this right here. Let me hold it up to the camera. So I will tell you what they are. The tone on tone is for the background, which is the white so that the cards stick out, right? And then 2 darks, which they're not very dark. And this is what my client chose when she came over. And then 2 lights, and then a border fabric. Now, the interesting thing about this is we're not going to be able to finish it on live stream. We'll be able to make all the blocks and make the table runner, hopefully, and so on and so forth. But we won't be able to finish it because after I put the blocks together and build the quilt, then I have to take it over to the embroidery machine and embroider a turtle on each side. So I will make it face one way and then flip the design and make it face another way. So we already bought the turtle embroidery for this, and I'll be able to take pictures of it and probably share it in the Facebook group or on Instagram or something, but I won't be able to show it to you guys by the next time when it's finished because it's going to Texas. So yep, so I have my thread, but I don't need that. That's just for the embroidery, but it was pre-chosen. Just wanted to show you guys. On Sunday, maybe. Yeah, I might be able to show you guys on Sunday when it's finished, so maybe. But if you're going to make this project with me, it's very simple. It doesn't need much fabric. It really doesn't even need a 1/4 yard, but grab a 1/4 yard of 4 different colors, 2 darks, 2 lights, or you can have all darks, but just different fabrics, or all lights of just different fabrics or whatever. Then I don't even think it needs a 1/4 yard of background. Well, no, I need a little bit more than a 1/4 yard of background. I'm going to just say 1/2 yard because I'm going to go all the way around it and so on and so forth. And then the last border isn't going to be as big. So this is what I had on the bolt because this is what was chose. So I would say, what is that next number after a 1/4? Between 9 and 18. That's
3/4?
No, 2, not 2. 1, 2, 3.
2/3?
4/8 of a yard, maybe, for that.
Is a half.
Oh, 3/8 then. Yeah, something between the half mark. Just get a 1/2 yard. Screw it. You really don't need much. Like I said, a 1/4 yard of 4 different fabrics. Now I got to remember because 1 came from the shelf of small yardage. Actually, no, 2 of them did. 3 of them came from the regular fabric. So I got to make sure that I mark them that I took however much I've been putting them back, and then they haven't had the amount that they're supposed to have yardage on them. So I got to make sure I remove that on my little number tabs here. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. This is very easy. It's all going to be verbal. So if you want to write it down, everybody knows I'm pretty good at describing things. So what we're going to do is start with our light fabric. We're making 4 blocks, 4 card trick blocks. So I need, and this is just actually a scrap of fabric that I grabbed here, because I need to cut from my light color. Do I need the pencil?
Yeah, should I put it over there? Or do you want it right here where it was?
Right here. Thank you. From my light fabric, we are going to cut 2 different size cuts. We are only making 4 blocks. So, yeah, you know, just stay out of my way. Thank you. Fold it, fold it. I only need the end right here. We're going to cut 4 4¼ inch pieces off of here. Maybe I should use a long ruler for this.
Bigger one with the handle?
It doesn't have a handle anymore. Oh no, I got it. With this one, I actually have to stand to cut, but we're going to cut 4 4¼ inch squares from here, and then we're going to subcut. No, I got it. All right, 4¼ Stay flat. All right, that's the half side. So we're going to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1/4 is right here. I only need 4 squares, but I'm just going to cut this whole entire thing, and then whatever's left over can be used for whatever. And those 4¼ I'm going to set aside, because while I have this open, we are going to cut 8. That's 8, the number 8 blocks, that 8 squares that are 3 7/8. 1, 2, 3 7/8, which is really the number right before the 4 inch. It's that little tiny dot that nobody could ever find, especially on this ruler. I'm going to cut 8 of those, so I'm not going to get 8 from one cut, so I'm going to make 2 cuts for that. Right there, 7/8, 7/8, 7/8, right there, and there. So this is from my background so far, which whatever's left over, I'm going to use as the back of the quilt, because it's a nice long piece. All right, let me fold that out of the way. So those are our 2 background cuts. Grab this guy. Take a seat. Move that there. Okay, I'm going to move the 3 7/8 inch pieces aside, and we're going to cut our 4 pieces that are 4 1/4. 4 1/4, and you need 4 of them, 1 for each block. 1, 2, and I'm not using full yardage, like I said, so you only need 3, and it got off right here. Why? Because that's what happens. And 1 more cut. 4 1/4. Again, I'm making 4 blocks, so I need 4 4 1/4 inch pieces, and now I'm going to stack them on top of each other, and we're going to cut them on the diagonal both directions. So that's across from one diagonal side to the other. We're literally just making a cross. We're going to get this way and line it up on corner to corner and cut that way. All right, so I'm just going to set these up here for the moment, and I'm going to stack my 3 7/8. I have 2 cuts here because we need to cut out 8 3 7/8 inch squares. I should have pressed the fabric first, but you know, I'm just one of those people that just am really lazy about that. And I have the iron literally sitting next to me, but it's not on yet because I don't want to get overheated in here. All right, so this one is, we're cutting 8 squares that from the background that are 3 7/8. That's 2. 4. 6. And one more time. 8. And these are going to get cut on the diagonal one time, just once, one corner to the other. And then they unstack themselves because that's just what happens, you know, for me when I'm using not pressed fabric. So 8 squares that are 3 7/8 cut on the diagonal once for the background. And then the other number again was 4 1/4. You needed 4 of them for 4 blocks at 4 1/4 cut on the diagonal twice, or an X. All right, there's those. It's that over there. Now all of my background is cut. I'm just going to set these aside, and we're going to cut some cuts from each fabric here. I don't need the whole strip here. So I need to just cut one strip. Let's make sure I'm getting all the layers here, right there. That in the garbage. And we're going to cut from each one, well, 2 things from each, 3 things from each, but just one strip. I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. I'll just take 1 4 1/4 inch strip from each of these fabrics. They're all going to get cut the same. Like I said, you don't really need a 1/4 of a yard, but I just so happen to grab that. I'm going to just set that aside because I'm doing it one strip from each. Make sure I get all those edges. And then 4 1/4. Just one from that. Don't need any more of it. We'll take one from this one. We're only making 4 blocks for this table runner. So if you want to make more than 4 blocks, then you'll just have to do the math to get more than 4 1/4 right here. And that one. Throw that aside. And cut from this one. I'm just going to stand. That one's kind of messy. All right, 4 1/4. You can even just grab a fat quarter for all of these, or one of those fat 8s or whatever. I don't use fat 8s ever, but you can use fat 8s. All right, so I'm going to open the first one up. And I am going to cut 1 4 1/4 because I only need 1 each because I'm making 4 different blocks and they're each a different color. So I'm just literally going to cut 1 4 1/4 from here. And then I'm going to split it. I'm going to cut this one on the diagonal, just one of them. And we're going to do this 4 times for this, but because I'm making 4 blocks. But these are 1 block's worth right here. And then I'm going to trim that second piece down. I just want to make sure that you know what we're doing here. To 3 7/8. And I need 2 of these. But I'm going to just cut the rest of it up in a second to whatever. But I just want to show you each one I'm cutting the 4 1/4, but then I'm subcutting the second one, and then it gets cut on the diagonal 1 time. Hopefully that makes sense. So there's 1 block's worth right there. So I'm going to do that again because I need 4 blocks. So I'm going to cut it at 4 1/4. That's 2 blocks. Oh no, I do need 2 cuts from each one, huh? 2, and I need 1 more, makes 3. That's right. See, I'm not thinking. All right, 1 gets cut twice. Let's stack that up. So technically I need from each color 4 squares that are 4 1/4 from each color. So I'm going to have to cut more from each. I didn't even think about that. My brain is, in the morning. All right, so there's that. And then I'm going to stack these up and cut them back down because I needed 2 of each. Of 3 7/8. Okay, 3 7/8 now. Right there. And 1 more time. 3 7/8. I need 8 squares that are 3 7/8 from each color. And then they get cut on the diagonal 1 time. That was 4 total. 5, 6, I need 4 more. Wow, counting on my fingers even. 3 7/8. 3 7/8. And I just need to cut 2 more squares off of the yardage. Because I'm not thinking straight. And then let's get cut. What did I say? I need to cut 2 more? 1, 2. Yeah, I need 2 more from each. Okay. Put that in that pile. And I need 2 more. So I need 1 more strip. So 2 strips off of everything, which still is a 1/4 yard. I'm just going to cut 3 7/8. I'm going to cut 2 squares off of here, and then the rest is scrap. Unless you want to continue making a ton of blocks, but we're only making 4. All right, 3 7/8. I only needed 2 more. All right, that makes 8 total. All right, let's cut this one. From each color, you need, for 4 blocks, you need 4 1/4 from each color. So you need 1, or 1 per 4 total squares for 4 blocks of 4 1/4 from each. And those get cut on the diagonal 2 times. I hope I'm not confusing anybody. And if I am, Karen's just going to turn it into a readable thing for the Facebook group. So there's my 4 1/4. I'm just going to turn this and cut it to 3 7/8 right off the bat. And I need 8 of those squares. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 more. And those are going to get cut in half once. The 4 1/4 get cut in half twice, and the 3 7/8 get cut only once. That one's done. I just need to cut 2 off of here. And 7/8. There we go. All right, and then these get cut on the diagonal one time. Okay, there's a bunch of blocks worth there. Next color. Might as well just go ahead and cut that 3 7/8 inch strip off of here. That way it's done. So I need 8 3 7/8. So I take 2 from that, and then the rest from the extra cutoffs of this, which is my 1, 4, and 1/4, but 4 blocks worth. So I need 4 1/4 inch squares for 4 blocks. Okay, those get cut on the diagonal twice. There's another block's worth, and then my rest of my 3 7/8 will come from here. So I'm just going to trim it down just a little bit. And turn this into 3 7/8 inch cuts. And those get cut on the diagonal one time. Alright, that's that block worth. And then let's cut the last one from this. 3 7/8. Side. And I went wonky with that cut. There we go. There. Set that aside. Cut this. So for 1 block, just 1, I'll make it easy on you. For 1 block, you need 1 4 1/4 of your background, 2 3 7/8 of your background. Oh, wait, the 4 1/4 gets cut on the diagonal twice from the background. You just need 1. And then you need 2 3 7/8 inch squares. And those are cut on the diagonal one time. And then of one of each color, if you're just one block, you would need one square. Like say you have 4 colors, right? One is, oops, why did I separate that? Because I'm trying to talk. 4 1/4 per color. So that's, you know, if you're doing 4 blocks, you would need 4 1/4. And then, so that's just one. I mean, how about this? For each block, you need 1 4 1/4 background cut on the diagonal twice. Then you need 2 3 7/8 cut on the diagonal once. Then from your medium color, you know, because you're going to have 2, you would just need for each block, for each medium, 1 4 1/4 cut on the diagonal twice, and 2 3 7/8 inch cut on the diagonal once. And then if you're having dark, you need 1 4 1/4 cut on the diagonal twice, and then your other 2 dark colors, 2 3 7/8 cut on the diagonal once. Hope that made sense, because I just lost myself. Yeah. One time. Which went wonky, because that's what happens when I work in the morning, is I shouldn't be cutting fabric because it gets wonky on me. These just get cut on the diagonal once. And number 4. All right. Everything's cut out. Now it's time to lay out the blocks.
Could you not do hosts instead of cutting the diagonal? Then she means have to put triangles, not hosts.
You have to cut the triangles because the way it's put together. All right, background fabric. Each square gets a background fabric like that, of that one color, making 4. So I need 2 that are like this, 2 that are like this. I probably didn't cut enough white. Oh, there's the rest of it right there. Haha. There we go. And then I need this half right here. And the other right here, these little guys, is going to go there. And this little guy is going to go here. No, that's the next color. Hold on. We need a light for that side. Right there. Okay. And then this one gets the light right here. So I got to lay it out first before my brain screws it up. Go that way. Those go that way. And this goes this way. That. This little guy goes here. There. No. There. And this goes this one there. And my little guy, which is this one, is there. You know, I probably cut too much now that I'm thinking about it. This goes here. I did something wrong again. What did I do wrong? The next dark color goes here. And then next dark big goes here. Some of these come over here. That. And this one goes there. Like this. And then this one goes like that. This. And this one. There it is, right there in front of my face. This way. Yeah, I probably overcut here. I'll just cut some background and the rest will get used for something else. This goes that way. This goes this way. And this goes. Oh, I gotta think about this. That one's this way. This one is this way. No, it's not. What did I do wrong again? That's not this one. That's this one.
You need to look at a picture in the book here.
Nope, I got it. There it is, right there. The little guys are right here in front of my face. They go right there, and the white goes right here. Yay, I figured it out. I'm just going to make one block and then show you. Yeah, I overcut. There we go. All right. One within the other, within the other, in the other, in the other. Okay. Let's make one block and then I'll put it up so you guys can see. Actually, I can just make all 4 pieces at the same time, 4 blocks. That's what I can do. I definitely overcut something. You know me, I'm not good with math, and I had this morning to do this. Oh, what am I doing? I just sewed that right to wrong side. It's morning for you.
Dan said it's a card trick block table runner. It'll drive you nuts. That's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
going on. It'll drive you nuts.
It'll get me wanting to play my cards right. I know. All right, let's start that over again. Sewing one of these to one of those, right sides together now. Then let's do this again. I'll just make sure that's right side up. And this tone on tone is right side down. And I'm out of bobbin because I was sewing before the live on other stuff. But I'm trying to use it bobbins, but we're going to put a long lasting one in just because we're on live stream. So I might as well just have a whole bobbin in there.
Keeping you on your toes, don't they?
Yeah. All right, here's my 4 of these. because that's 4 blocks worth right there. I have no idea. And 4. All right. For now, I'm just going to finger press till that iron is warm. And we'll sew the next 4 pieces of stuff. And there it goes. Nice and almost warm. No, I got it. All right. Dog ear removal. They should be the size they're supposed to be. These are not supposed to have to get cut down. All right. Oh, one more. So I'm going to make all my corner half square triangles first. And lose my thread all at the same time. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stop losing thread today and put this one. That's what I'm going to do. My machine is back to liking only large spools for some reason. I did clean the dust out of the bobbin area this morning, so I at least did something. Yeah, that's a plus. That's a big plus to me. I even put oil in the machine and dusted the machine, you know, because why not? So one of these piles does not have 4 in it. All right, press these. Cut off the dog ears. Place it back where it goes. And I have a head hair.
Like that?
Yep.
It's a real problem. I have to always be careful.
Yeah, it's a real problem, the head hair. Scott's always pulling his out of his face, too. Actually, it's my hair that's in his face. My hair that's weaved into his clothes. My hair that's all over the floor in the house. Thumper's hair is not nowhere. It's just mine. It's all me. It's crazy. Come on, lay on there, please. Thank you. Non-ironed fabric. And I need one more. One of these piles had too many in it. We're supposed to have 4 in each pile. All right, there's 4 of those now. Cut those little pieces off. I probably confused you guys. That's why you're not asking questions, and that's why I feel like there's nothing being said. All right, and now one more time. There should be 4 left here. Yep, there's 4 left here. Or at least I got the background cuts correct. Whew. Yeah, so I think it was 1 3 7/8 per color. Reason for that, it wasn't 2, because now that I think about it, because I have 4 different colors instead of 2 different colors. Before, yep, that's what I did wrong. It was 1 from each. I'm trying to confuse you guys, and I'm sorry. But that's okay. The leftover pieces can be used to do this all over again. Because I'm not going to waste none of my fabric. Oops, what did I do that for? Because I'm a dummy.
I know.
I pressed it to the light, and I need everything pressed to the dark so that it lays nice. Cut these off, and then we're going to make quarter square triangles. Which is my center of the block. Get that done and over with, and then all I have to do is worry about the quarter square triangles of 3 pieces. All right, let's do this center. I only need to make 4 of them because I have 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
Are you following someone's pattern for this block?
I am following my own pattern, but the block from the block book.
It was kind of
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, I definitely just need to cut some more background, and I can make a bunch more blocks later. All right, let's make some quarter square triangles. Just gonna run these through like this. Top. Bottom. Sometimes I use a book for cheating for the blocks, for their sizes. It's the only way I can get it correct. And one more. separate them and sew them. Then press. One more for the center pieces, and then we'll do the outsides. All right. Now to cut off the dog ears, which there are 4 on this. And then lay it the way it's supposed to go. That way. All right, now I'm going to sew the 4 of these. Come on. Right there. 3 and 4. And then open them, press them to the dark, and put the other side on, which should fit exactly. And it does. Yeah, I cut way too many of those other pieces. remove 3 from this and place it where it goes. Feels like this is taking me forever.
Hasn't been an hour yet.
All right, let's do that again, but a different color. Right here.
You figure with this talking and starting everything, it took you 40, 45 minutes to do this?
Oh, I guess that's not horrible. Yeah, so it would be just 1 3 7/8 per color and just 1 4 1/4 per color. That's what it is. Yep. I'm looking at it now. So you only need 2 smalls. Yeah, okay. Whew. And then the 2 big ones. So that's what I did wrong. So I can make a couple more blocks, but they're not going towards this because this table runner doesn't need to be big. All right. Oh my goodness, right there. 2, 3. That goes that way. Once the blocks are together, then it's super easy because then it just makes a 9 patch once all these pieces and parts are together. Then everything else will go quick because that's just sashing, borders, whatever. So those go together first. Yeah, don't quit. Just keep going. Don't get frustrated. And if you do get frustrated, just walk away for a little bit and then come back to it. I usually just keep going and fix my mistake. There's been a couple times in all of my making of quilts that I ran out of fabric fixing my mistake over and over, and it just happens. So then I had to switch colorways. But when this is for a client, I should have kind of drew it out better so that I knew exactly. But I didn't think about that when yesterday was when the person came over and chose everything. And then I was busy last night with a bad case of dizziness and low blood sugar. So that had me down and I didn't have time to think properly on making this. Or else I would have done this yesterday and not just jump in at it this morning.
Any news on the cruise?
Any news on the cruise? The information is in the description below the video. Just click on that and that's where you'll get all the information you need. And if you have questions, there's a clickable link for questions to be asked. The cruise will be August of next year. I think we leave August 28th, right?
Yeah.
August 28th till September something or other. It's a 7-day thing. To Alaska. It will be fun. There'll be a project that only the cruise will have between Becca, Ian, and I. It's the same thing. One project, but it will be with my friend Becca from Sew Becca and then Ian from Off Kilter Crafter Ian. The three of us will be hosting this cruise and having a good time because that's just what we do. And I've never been to Alaska, so I'm hoping it will be super fun. It probably will be because it's Alaska. Come on now. Something you've never seen or done before. It's a once in a lifetime kind of deal. That's exactly why I'm so happy to go. I just wish it would be here already, you know? But first, in February, I'm going to be going to QuiltCon, which that should be an exciting thing.
Did you bring your own material on the cruise?
Huh?
Did you bring your own material?
Yeah, you bring your own fabrics for cruises. All right. I'm going to piece all this together now in the chain piecing method. Oops, I forgot one. Right. Little dog ear right there. Let's do that again. I'm literally making all 4 blocks at the same exact time. And I'm not going to break anything apart. I'm just going to bring it down to my lap. And then go top, medium, top, middle, down. Top, middle, bottom. Whatever. It's morning again. It's my excuse for everything. Including the inability to talk properly. Whew. Oh, 3, not 2. Whew. Almost gonna sew on the wrong one. Gotta make sure I pay attention. Now, I just take them apart in segments of 3 because that's 1 block. Second block. Third block. And 4th. So I'm going to press out and out, I think. Yeah, that's what I'll do. And I'm just finger pressing for now. Alright. That looks correct. Gotta make sure it looks correct. I'll be doing 4 incorrects in a row. I'm pretty sure I did it right, though. I'm going to press this one so we can hold it up to the camera and put it up so that you can see before I sew all the rest, which is not very many. There's 3 left to sew. Need a little bit of steam. So this should be 9.5 as it sits, and it'll be 9-inch finished. Let's see how good I did. 9.5, 9.5. Yep. All right, so here's a block. So that's the card trick block.
Thinking about getting a Martelli cutter, and some people say the spring gets loose. What spring are they talking about?
The spring doesn't get loose really on the Martelli cutter. There is a spring on here, right inside this little segment right here. There's a spring. It really doesn't get loose. It's when you take it apart and you remove the blade from it. If you don't have it sitting properly open like this, and you start messing with all sorts of other things, the spring will pop out and it'll go flying. But I have the one that's in the other room, I've been using since I first got one, and that was like 7 years ago. And I don't have it. The spring is still on it, and it's still nice and tight and closes. And this one's been, what, a year now on this one? And
Probably.
yeah, and it's good. They just fly out. That's the main problem. If you take it apart to put the blade in, just don't move or adjust anything. Clean what you can, and then put it back together. Because the spring can go flying, which it did to me when I changed it on Sunday on live stream. Push that out of the way. Just making sure that my seams nest right up. All right, that's good. Next, and then I'll press them all. So I'm pressing the top and the bottom seams out, and then I know it seems weird. I'm pressing the middle seams in towards a bunch of seams, but either way you press it, it's going towards a bunch of seams, unless you want to press your seams open, which I rarely do. Like, very rarely do. I mainly press my seams open when I'm working with tiny pieces, except for the last couple days of my tiny piecing. Those ones I'm just pressing one side or the other. No big deal. Stay folded the way I put you, you darn seam. Doesn't want to move due to the fact that, there we go. There we go. I didn't even need a seam ripper. Just needed to adjust it. I guess sometimes finger pressing isn't enough. Did not want to turn the correct direction. See? It's not turning. There we go. Right there. Stay. Make sure it's correct. And it is. Last one. And then we can put this whole little quilt together. Well, table runner. And then I can embroider it later. After I take a nap. Because, you know, the nap is highly important. right.
Any more water in it?
No. There's number 2. I'm just used to a lot more steam. This has steam, but it's not a lot. 3. I'm going to rotate them too so that they're alternating direction. For this. That way the same colors aren't in the same spot all the way down. I'm going to move them around. Okay. So if this is up in the top corner, let's put them all in the top corner so that I can see for a second. This one we're going to rotate once. This one we're going to rotate twice. And this one we're going to rotate all the way to that side. There we go. Over 1, over 2, and 3. Although those seem close together. No, because then those are close together. All right. Ooh, hey, how about that? Yeah, in and out. In, out. That one. That one. That one. Okay. That's how I'm going to do it. That way I'm not messing around too much. All right. Now that the blocks are done, I am going to cut 1.5-inch strips. I need 3, 1, 2, 3 1.5-inch by 9.5-inch. So I should be able to get that up here. And I'm going to get 2 off of that. And let me just cut 1 more. All right, so there's that. Slide that out of the way. Turn and cut these to 3 9.5-inch. Right side up. That's right side up. Nope, that's right side up. All right, let's come to 9.5 right there, and 1 more. 9.5 there. Garbage. These are my 9.5s. Oh, come on. No, that mat is starting to fold up. Hold on, guys. It's starting to get wrong, funky. Yeah. Oh, now that rolls funny on there. All right, so I'm going to grab and sew one of these on. Let me just make sure that it's right sides because it's a tone on tone, and I really struggle with tone on tones. I'm gonna press it just towards the sashing, towards the white, or background, because technically I'm just using the background. Then I'm gonna grab the next one, place it on there. Press that towards the sashing because it'll lay flatter. Add the second sashing strip. That's right side. Apparently I did not cut properly. Press towards sashing. Add next block. Trying not to lose my points here at the same time, although most of them are not there. But whatever. I never said I was perfect at this. I'm just so fast, not perfect.
You're doing good.
All right, that's right side that way.
You're doing very good.
Press it. Add the last block. Press. Oh, what am I doing? That's why it's not laying flat.
I know what's happening.
All right, what I got so far. Now, because I will be having embroidery on here, my embroidery design was what, almost 4 inches or something like that, right? Yeah. So I need to cut. I'm going to cut 2 4.5 inch by 9.5 inch strips off of, one strip off of here that's 4.5, and then 2, because I'm not using full yardage. So this is where my embroidery is going to go on the end. All right, let's make 2 9.5 by 4.5 inch pieces. 9.5 is right there. Okay. So now I'm going to add one of these to each end. This is where the embroidery is going to go on these. add the next. Press. Just away from all right, so far. So the embroidery is going to go on the end caps right here, and the turtle is going to be facing in, so I'll be reversing that image. But now I'm going to go on the top and bottom. So here's that. For now, I'm just going to place it right here. So now I'm going to add a 1.5 on each side. So I need a lot of inches.
This is what it looks like.
Oh, here's what the embroidery looks like, but it will be green, not that black, but it will be the green color that the client chose. All right, so I'm going to cut a couple 1.5-inch strips off of here now. And then I'll just sew them end to end for my top and bottom piece. And I doubt my white is going to be long enough now for to use as the backing fabric. That's okay, I'll choose a different piece to go with the green theme. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because this isn't quite half of a width of fabric, so.
You want your long ruler?
Nope.
It's right there. I can hand it to you if you want.
No. Okay, hold on. I totally royally screwed that piece up. Let's do that again. Yeah, I know I should use one ruler to go this length, but I'm, cutting the lazy way. And it is a fresh blade, but it's getting stuck to cutting singles and all the crevices that are cut into my cutting mat. All right, that should be enough of those. Let's cut the selvage off of them all and then hook them all together. And then I'll just sew on one side and then sew on the other. All right, I'm just going to sew these end to end real quick. And the last piece on here. Yeah, that's right side up. I gotta check the tone on tone under the light so I can even tell. Because I always get one backwards. Haven't so far today. And this is the last of it, so hopefully I won't mess it up. Just pressing the seams real quick. All right, I'm going to attach one side on and then the other.
Well, it's going to be a nice long table there.
Well, I'm cutting the corners
I
too,
know, I'm
but
just
I
saying.
want to embroider first before I
gonna
do that.
It's going to be a nice long table runner.
Yep. So it's going to have a 60-degree on the ends, but I'm going to embroider it first before cutting it. All right, we have plenty of time. I'm going to press this, and then we're going to go over to the embroidery machine. And then embroider, then attach the final border, because I gotta trim. Huh?
You're going to do on the embroidery machine, guys. 19 minutes. You'll take the rest of your video to get one turn.
Oh, well, I can't add the next border until I put the embroidery on.
Well, I'm just saying, what do you do? You bring a camera in there to show.
Yeah, I was gonna bring the camera in there.
Oh.
It's mesmerizing to watch.
Okay, that makes sense.
People ask all the time to watch the embroidery machine, do stuff on the embroidery machine, so I figured might as well. All right. Let's get this together, and then I need to take a... Where's my... Sorry, guys, I gotta grab two 4-inch squares of iron-on, and then I'm going to put it where I want it to land, right here, for my turtles. So I'm going to cut out two 4-inch squares from this scrap piece of iron-on. That way it stays nice, and when I go to the long arm to quilt it, it will, Yep, that's the thread. 4 and another 4-incher. All Right, and I'm going to put these now where these turtles are going to go. And it's about right. There. Sticky side up. That looks even. Yep, perfect right there. All right, let's put the other one on the other side. It has it. I have it facing right there. Got that up and just a little bit higher. So I'm centering it under here. Okay, that's done. I'm pretty sure he turned the embroidery machine on, so let's take a visit to the sewing, the quilt room, the fabric room, where the embroidery machine is held. All right, camera's moving, okay? So be careful for those that get dizzy. I'm just going to cover it up.
I tried the thread for you. I turned seals in off, couldn't do it there, and now I'm really having a hard time. Even with that.
All right, there's an embroidery machine.
So you might have to tie the thread, because I'm not succeeding.
Okay, watch out.
It's tied, you know.
All right. Where did my thread go? Oh, he must have pulled it out. Oh well, I'll just rethread the whole thing. Oh no, guys, I don't have a lot of light in this room.
Turn the other light on?
Please. You unthreaded the whole thing.
Right in.
Yeah, it came undone all the way down here.
When the piece was hanging over here, when I handed it to you, how did it come undone over here? Tony? Don't blame me for that.
That hole. On this embroidery machine, I always do the pull through method. Oops. Where I just tie the thread into a knot and then pull it through. But unfortunately, the thread came out of its thready thing. Okay. That's threaded. We need some of this stuff real quick. And you guys can come over here to the hooping so you can see how I do this. For those that don't know anything about embroidery machines. All right. This is my interfacing or stabilizer, whatever you want to call it. It's going to cut off some. I'll be able to get both because I'm going to do one side and then the other. I'm going to float it on here. So I'm literally just hooping this stuff. That. I need my key over there, please.
I got you.
I have like a screw-in thing right here on the side that screws it. And that's on there nice and tight. And now I need some really long pins. And what I'm going to do
You need this table.
is I am going to float this on here. Right there. I'm going to line it up. Right there. And I'm going to pin it in place onto this stabilizer. With my, and I've got it nice and snug. Another long one right here at the end.
Thing on it sideways, so the turtle's going to be sideways.
Yeah, the turtles are going to face in to each other.
Oh.
And then one more right along here. But I don't want them facing the same direction. You'll see. All right, let's take this over. Camera's moving. We're going to clip it into place. I'll move the camera so you can see the screen and how that works in 2 seconds. This is the biggest hoop for this machine. This machine does not come with any bigger of a hoop, which kind of sucks. All right, my embroidery design is there. Snips up here. It's hard to see screens on screens, my friends, but we're going to do this anyway. So I'm going to plug my little thingy in, and I'm going to tell this that I'm using a drive. Now it's reading it. Doesn't like to read it right away. Oh, it's not there. It's in system 1. No. Where's it at? PES, right there. It's that one. So here's my turtle up on the screen. So I'm going to press set. And I'm not doing anything else to it because it's already the size it needs to be. So I'm just going to go to embroidery. But what I'm going to do on this, where's my mirror image?
Oh. You have to flip it around.
Wait, I got to flip it.
Rotate.
This one right here. Mirror image it, because this one's going to face in this way. And then when I do the other side, it'll face in the opposite way.
Oh, I didn't know it had that button.
Yep.
That's
So
cool.
now I'm going to go over to embroidery. We're going to position it. It doesn't like to move with my finger very well. About right. It's at the center of the design, which is lining up with the center of this right here. About right. I'm going to look from the side because there's a thingy right there. There is a laser pointer, which you can't tell very well. But I'm going to line that laser pointer up right here. Slide it over just a little bit. And then I'm on the screen. I'm going to press the button that sees where it's going to land. So it's going, and I could see lined up against there.
Boy, that's about perfect.
And that's perfect, exactly where I want it to be. So now all I have to do is I got the thread already in there. I just press lock and start. And now it's going to start embroidering. I can't control the light, my friends, because it's built into the machine.
They can't see it at all.
I don't have no way to cover it. Yeah, you can't even see it when I do that. I wonder if you come down in on it like that.
Going up above would work, but here, this is working. Right there, yeah, that's working.
Oh, there we go. Just needed to be closer. So it's just going to be an all one color turtle. So while that's on, you guys can ask questions Oh, so if you're curious, my machine is a Brother Persona PRS 100. Scott will put a link in the chat for it. Huh? Oh, okay. And no questions? It's interesting how embroidery machines stitch out stuff. Once enough thread gets on there, you'll be able to see it. Yep, it outlines and then fills it in. And it kind of does like a basting stitch within it so that underneath is filled up with thread. It gives it its parameters, I guess, is what the machine is doing. No, I didn't get no lessons on this machine. I just turned it on and played with it. There's actually a video when I first got this machine playing with it and getting to know it. And here, while that's stitching, I'll show you guys. The first project me and Scott ever did is that right there. So I made that dragon. It's in a video, and then Scott made his dragon in his name, and I did mine, and then I did the middle. So that's our first project ever. That was a couple years ago that we did that. That's our lovely wall hanging that sits in here. And then that is in a video too. What type of interfacing do I use? I don't know. Let's see. This one that is currently right here is new Bro Thread No Show Mesh Stabilizer. It's for t-shirts, but I'm using it for this because I don't want it to show. And I don't want the paper stuff. I've been using this on all the cloth stuff, you know, for fabric. But I have paper tearaway, which this is my tearaway. I don't use this on anything with quilting. But this one is Inspira Fast and Easy Tearaway. I keep the little things inside the thingamabobber. And then I have Cutaway. So here's a Cutaway. Oops, I broke thread. So here's a Cutaway. It's the Inspira brand. But that's for Cutaway, which I don't honestly, because I'm not really totally into embroidery, I don't know which one is for which item that I'm actually working with. I just been experimenting all these years. I think it ran out of bobbin thread, honestly. Yep, it's out of bobbin. I'm gonna put a bobbin in, guys. Give me 2 seconds. This does not use a whole bobbin. It doesn't even come close. It's been, that same bobbin has been running through, I don't know, like at least 7 tags worth. And yesterday's stitch out, and then what else? I've done a couple other things with the bobbin in there. It lasts a while, just like the thread. You think it uses a lot of thread, but it really doesn't use as much as you think. I have been on this same, it's almost out, but I've been on this same black spool of thread right here. So there's about, I don't know, that much left on it, you can see. I've been on this for like, I don't know, since I got the machine, like 4 years. I've been using the same black, and it's not run out. And this doesn't have as much as most of the bigger glides, because this is glide 60. But yeah, so anything that needs black, I just use this. And then I have a thing of white, which I don't use much white, because most of the time I'm embroidering on white fabric, so I don't really put white thread. So that one's actually full, almost. And yeah, I don't really use much of it. And then the bobbin thread is a totally different thread as well. So I use 60 weight on the top, but the bobbin thread itself is, doesn't even say. I don't know, but it's very, very tiny thread. It's the smallest. And that's what runs in the bobbin. And I have white, and then I use black also. This machine does free motion quilting too. So there's a big, huge table. I actually have a video where I pulled it out. It's a giant table that goes with it, and it has a thing where you can stand and free motion quilt with it. And this moves out of the way, and everything's out of the way, so you can free motion quilt as if it was, you know, like a mid arm. Huh? I do not match the bobbin and top thread unless I'm doing something that I need to, but I've used white bobbin with top thread black, and you know what? I've never seen any thread stick through. And how often do I change my bobbin and my juki? I don't know. At least 5-6 times a quilt. If I do like a queen size, I probably change it like 8 times. Yeah, this one, the thread lasts forever. This actually lasts longer than on my long arm, the thread when it's in here. And this machine will stitch faster than this, but I don't put it faster than this because it breaks thread. So I just let it do its thing here. I've really been wanting to do in-hoop projects, but I don't have a big enough hoop for anything too big, because this is the biggest it is. It's 7 7/8, but the actual, it doesn't even stitch at the edge. It's like a 1/2 inch all the way around that's not stitched, so it's even smaller. I don't use it as often as I should. I probably should use it more. Yeah, I only use it for tags because I was tired of monogramming one letter at a time, and I really wanted an embroidery machine so I didn't have to monogram one letter at a time. It's a bonus that it has all the, you know, designs and stuff, because I got a whole entire bunch of these filled with designs. So I can stitch out whatever I want. Like if I want a dragonfly, there's a dragonfly. You know? I can stitch whatever I want, whenever I want. I always test stitch first too to see what the design and how big it's going to be. So this is that turtle, you know, but I always test stitch. All right, so that side is done. Let's pull this off and remove it, but I'm not going to change my design. I'm going to leave it on the screen. Oh, I'm just going to show them how I pull it out, and I'll do the other one off camera. I'm going to show them how I reverse the image, though, to go the opposite way. All right, so I'm just going to pop my pins out, set that aside, and then I have a pair of scissors. Can I have my little scissors over there?
Keep moving it.
Pop my little scissors out.
You want this or you want these?
The green ones.
Okay.
Thank you.
You have to say which pair. You have 3 pairs.
I'm going to stab a hole into the interfacing and only cut out this design worth. All right, so there it is. I need to iron it, and like I said, I probably never use the right interfacing, but it lays pretty flat. I got to disconnect this thread right here. Slide it in, snip it away, and these are curved, by the way. Curved snips, as you can see. All right, so that's off of there. So the next one, all I'm going to do is lay this back on, line it up just like I did the last one. I'm going to center it. I'm going to put these pins in here. One up here. Poke my finger till I know it's come up the other side. One right here. One right here on this edge. And one over here on this side. Like that. So I have my pins in there. I'm going to go load this now. Back to over here. Just going to slide it in. For those of you that don't have embroidery machines, this is probably one of the cheaper ones, single needle machine. So the only thing I'm going to do different now is my laser is got to get centered again. So I need my little pin, and I need to come down about right there. We're going to run and see where it's landing. Oh, that one's going over too much. No, I'm going to... well, one's facing down this way and one's facing this way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's what
so...
you should do.
Yeah, this one is now facing this way, and this one's going to face down this way. That way, no matter which way you have it on a table, it would be the right way. I need to go over just a little bit though, because I don't always load it on exactly the same. It looks straight to me from there to there. Let's see where it's going to land. Not the same as the other one. Nope, needs to go over that much. Right there. All right, so I'm going to stitch this one out. I just press lock and start, and that's it. All right, guys, guys, gals, whatever. Anyway, huh? No, they can hear me in here. So here's my table runner. I'm going to lop off the sides now, right here and right here, away from this guy because I don't want to get in the way of him on both sides. I'm going to make it an angle, and then I will add that last fabric that I told you in the beginning was the border that has the green, but it has the slight little flowers all over it to make it a little bit more, I don't know, lively. So it has a little bit of color into it other than green. So I'm actually going to go ahead and get off of here now, but I'm going to let this stitch out, add those borders, and if it's finished by Sunday, I will show you what it looks like then. Okay? So stay tuned then, and I'll be able to show it if I get it long arm quilted by then. Any questions before I go? No? All right, guys, I'm going to get off of here now. We'll see you in my next video. Bye.